The year is 2011. For Paulette Morris, a single mother, it's a fresh start. She's moving into Casa Bella Apartments. It's a modest place, but it's home, a safe haven for her, or so she thinks. Casa Bella, owned by Amcal Multi-Housing Inc., promises affordable living. It's managed by FPI Management Inc., a company that will soon become a recurring nightmare in Paulette's life. Little does she know, the seemingly ordinary apartment complex hides a web of deceit, a web that will soon entangle Paulette in a desperate battle for justice. Paulette, ever resourceful, starts a small business from her apartment. It's a simple candy house, a way to bring in extra income and teach her children about entrepreneurship. The business thrives, a testament to Paulette's hard work and dedication. But her success seems to breed resentment.
This candy house violates apartment regulations.
You need to shut it down immediately.
Paulette, sensing their motives are less than pure, reluctantly agrees.
Fine, I'll shut it down, but this isn't over.
Undeterred, she sets her sights on bigger dreams. She invests in a snack truck, a symbol of her unwavering spirit. It's a direct challenge to the forces that seem determined to hold her down. The battle lines are drawn. The fight for justice is about to begin.
I approached FPI Management with my application in hand. I thought it was just a formality, just needed their signature.
But her request was met with resistance.
We can't sign this. There are clauses in your lease that you need to consider.
Right, these clauses create certain obstacles.
Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Paulette, frustrated but undeterred, continued to plead her case.
The lease explicitly allows for home-based businesses. Your refusal seems personal.
It was a power play, a way to keep her trapped, to clip her wings before she could truly soar. April 27th, 2021. A date etched in Paulette's memory. It was a day that would change everything she thought she knew about her life and the people around her.
It was time for the annual certification paperwork for HUD. Every year, this process was a routine, a formality. But this year, something felt different. Something felt off. Maria Reyes insisted I bring my adult son to the office to sign. Her tone was unusually stern, almost as if she was expecting a confrontation.
She stepped into the locked office, a sense of unease settling in her stomach. The room felt colder than usual, the air thick with tension.
For my protection, I hit record on my phone. Something wasn't right. I needed to have proof of whatever was about to happen.
Reyes, her face a mask of barely contained fury, berated Paulette for not bringing her son. Her voice was sharp, cutting through the silence like a knife.
Show me the so-called forged documents. I needed to see what she was talking about to understand the gravity of the situation.
Finally, Reyes, with an air of exasperated defeat, handed over 3 years' worth of annual certification papers. The stack of documents felt heavy in Paulette's hands, each page a potential piece of evidence.
My signature was there, as expected. But below it, in a cruel mockery of truth, were the forged signatures of my son and grandson. The sight of those signatures sent a chill down my spine.
Someone had tampered with the documents, adding false information, inflating her income, painting a picture of blatant fraud. The realization hit her like a ton of bricks. This wasn't just a mistake. It was a deliberate act to frame her. Paulette knew she had to fight back. She couldn't let this injustice go unchallenged. With a deep breath, she prepared herself for the battle ahead, determined to clear her name and uncover the truth. Section 1, a cry for help.
I knew I couldn't stay silent. I had to fight back, to expose the truth. Desperate for help, I reached out to Amcal Multi-Housing Inc., the company that owned Casa Bella. Surely they would want to know about the fraudulent activities happening under their roof. I contacted Ryan Parades, a liaison for Casa Bella. With a glimmer of hope, I poured out my heart, detailing the harassment, the forged documents, the relentless pressure from FPI Management. I sent him copies of the evidence, my emails filled with a desperate plea for intervention.
On June 21st, 2021, a new wave of fear washed over Paulette.
A menacing phone call from Abel Ortiz, a lawyer representing FPI Management, sent chills down my spine.
Cease and desist.
Ortiz, his voice a blend of honeyed words and veiled threats, urged her to drop the matter. His message was clear: cease and desist.
A formal letter soon followed, penned by Ortiz's associate, Eric M. Bray.
It was a legalistic barrage filled with jargon and intimidation tactics, a clear attempt to silence her. They were trying to bury her, to make her disappear. Despite the court's ruling, a seed of doubt had been sown. Ortiz's tactics, though exposed, had taken their toll.
Was I fighting a losing battle? Was it even possible to take on a powerful corporation like Amcal Multi-Housing Inc. and their legal attack dogs?
Fear whispered in her ear, urging her to give up, to accept defeat. But deep down, a flicker of hope remained.
I had come too far, endured too much to back down now. I had truth on my side, and I would not rest until justice was served.
Despite the fear gnawing at her, Paulette refused to be defeated. She sought legal counsel, desperate to understand her rights, to fight back against the injustice she faced.
Through the Legal Aid Society of San Bernardino, a beacon of hope emerged. They listened with empathy, their words offering a lifeline in my time of need. They believed my story, validating my experiences, reassuring me that I wasn't alone. The law, they explained, was on my side.
Armed with this newfound knowledge, Paulette felt a surge of empowerment. She would not be silenced. She would fight for her rights, for the truth, for the future of her family.
The isolation was perhaps the hardest part. FPI Management's edict forbidding me from contacting their office extended to my neighbors. Whispers followed me, fueled by the management's lies. Friendships, once a source of comfort, evaporated, replaced by wary glances and hushed conversations. I felt like a pariah, ostracized for daring to speak truth to power.
The lawsuit filed in 2021 sent shockwaves through Casa Bella. It detailed the harrowing ordeal Paulette had endured, the forged documents, the harassment, the threats, the financial ruin. It exposed FPI Management's actions for what they were, a calculated attempt to silence a tenant, to crush her spirit, to maintain their grip on power.
The lawsuit named Amcal Multi-Housing Inc., FPI Management Inc., Wendy Winston, and Maria Reyes as defendants. It alleged fraud, breach of contract, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and negligence. It was a shot across the bow, a declaration that I would no longer be silenced. I was fighting back, not just for myself, but for all tenants who had been wronged by their landlords.
Section 3, Fighting Back. Despite the mounting pressure, Paulette refused to back down. FPI Management, with their deep pockets, an army of lawyers, employed every tactic imaginable to delay the proceedings, to wear me down, to force me into a settlement that would silence me forever. But I stood firm. I had come too far to let them win. I would see this through to the end, no matter the cost. For Paulette, the fight for justice came at a heavy price. FBI Management, their reputation on the line, retaliated with a vengeance. The eviction notices continued, each one a blow to her already fragile sense of security. The financial strain intensified.
Unable to work legally, my savings depleted, I struggled to keep a roof over my head. The stress was relentless, a heavy weight pressing down on me. I often found myself lying awake at night, my mind racing with worry. Would I lose my home? The fear was a constant companion, a dark cloud that threatened to engulf me.
The price of courage was steep, but Paulette's resolve remained unbroken. Her fight was not just for herself, but for every resident of Casa Bella and beyond. As the lawsuit progressed, the truth began to unravel. Documents subpoenaed by Paulette revealed a pattern of fraudulent activity by FPI Management. The lawsuit, once a David and Goliath struggle, was gaining momentum. FPI Management's carefully constructed facade of respectability was crumbling, exposing the rot beneath. The tide was turning, and Paulette, the single mother who dared to challenge a corporate giant, was leading the charge.
The wheels of justice, as they often do, turn slowly. Each tick of the clock feels like an eternity, a constant reminder of the slow grind of the legal system. The legal battle, a grueling marathon with no finish line in sight, has taken its toll on everyone involved. The courtroom is a battlefield, littered with stacks of documents and exhausted faces. FPI Management's deep pockets fuel their relentless pursuit of victory. Their legal team, well-funded and well-prepared, leaves no stone unturned.
Each day that passes is a victory for Paulette, a small but significant step towards justice. Her resilience shines through, even in the face of overwhelming odds, a testament to her resilience, her unwavering determination to see this through. She stands strong, a beacon of hope for others in similar situations.
But it's also a day lived on a knife's edge, with every moment fraught with tension. The constant stress is evident in her every move, every glance out the window. The threat of eviction still looming, a dark cloud that never seems to dissipate. Each notice, each letter, is a stark reminder of the precariousness of her situation. The financial strain, a constant weight on her shoulders. Balancing the costs of living with the expenses of the lawsuit is a daily struggle.
The lawsuit has become her life, a consuming force that dictates her every waking moment. Her home, once a place of comfort, is now filled with legal documents and reminders of the ongoing battle. Section 5, A Battle for the Soul of Casa Bella. FPI Management, their reputation tarnished but their grip on power still firm, shows no signs of backing down. Despite the negative press and public outcry, they remain steadfast, employing every tactic at their disposal to maintain control. Their boardrooms are filled with strategies to counteract the growing resistance. It's a battle for the soul of the community, for the right to live with dignity and respect. The residents of Casa Bella are not just fighting for themselves, but for the generations to come. They envision a future where their children can play safely, where families can thrive without fear of displacement. But whatever the outcome, one thing for certain, two things for sure. I, Paulette Morris, the single mother who dared to challenge a corporate giant, have already won. I did not submit to the bullying of these predators. I kept fighting to keep my sanity. I will update you on the upcoming court date and let you know the outcome. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, by the way, if you know the name of an attorney that's not afraid to help Paulette take on this corrupt corporation, please drop a name in the comments. Thanks.